What's up, YouTube? We're a couple of cunts. We're in the countryside. We're talking about Batman. The Dark Knight Rises is out tomorrow. Bat fans around the world are going to be creaming in their jeans. Our cameraman, I know, for
Different
one
reasons.
is going to be, well,
Catwoman.
Probably a lot of Catwoman, yeah. It should be pretty good.
I was going to say the other two films in the trilogy so far have been very good, so I've got high hopes for the final one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the Avengers has kind of sapped my comic book movie excitement. It's like I haven't given a shit to go and see The Amazing Spider-Man while it's been out. But yeah,
I can't exactly say I'm rushing out to go see that myself either.
We're going to see it on Saturday, so yeah, it should be quite good, I think. As you say, the previous two instalments were very good. I'm probably in the minority here when I think that The Dark Knight was really overrated.
I think there was the whole thing with Heath Ledger dying just before it coming out, and everyone was like, oh wow, Heath Ledger's last role.
It was his last completed role.
But yeah, last completed. But yeah,
I mean, I'm in agreement that a lot of The Dark Knight's hype came from the fact that Ledger died. I mean, I think Batman...
he did do a good job. I don't want to slate the guy. He did do a good job.
Don't take away from it. That Oscar he got was well deserved. It's like Batman Begins was just as good as The Dark Knight, but it didn't drag on for as long. And it just, you know, it was more driven, I think. The Dark Knight meandered quite a bit, especially when it came to Harvey Dent. So
I did find that sort of bit at the end, it did seem to sort of like, I don't want to be harsh and say it finished after it ended. You know what I mean? It just went on a bit too long.
Bit of a Lord of the Rings situation.
But it was kind of a bit like that. I was watching it thinking, they probably could have wrapped that up like 10 minutes ago quite easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is one of those films that's long and it feels long. And given that the Avengers was about the same length as The Dark Knight and went by in a breeze. Of course, before Chris Nolan took over the franchise, we had Batman and Robin.
Nice to see you.
Chill out. That was, yeah, that was a film.
Yeah, that was...
in the loosest
Allow me to break the ice. Our cameraman is currently flipping us for bird because he really hates it.
He refuses to acknowledge that Batman and Robin even exist.
It's not a great film, but, you know, at the same time, it's really,
it's great in a really terrible way. Like, half of the shit Arnie says isn't even, like, one-liners or puns. Like, when he comes out, he's like, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! He's just stating a fact. And that's not what a villain should do. You're not going to see the Scarecrow come in and go, oh, Sigmund Freud was a psychologist in whatever
that doesn't really quite work as well as just going, ice to see you.
Yeah, but ice to see you is a pun. Just saying that the dinosaurs died in the Ice Age, it's like, thanks for that, Mr. Freeze. All that schooling didn't teach me that, but you've taken care of me there, well done. Batman and Robin, the last film Bane appeared in, before he's appearing in The Dark Knight Rises. Less of what it looks like Tom Hardy has done with an intelligent, dangerous villain. Or a big old gimp in a mask.
I was going to say that I know I'm not massively up on comics at all, as everyone knows, but I know one of the real complaints that people originally had with that film is that Bane is supposed to be very, very intelligent, very articulate, and very dangerous because he's a mastermind. In Batman and Robin, they just basically made him a dumb bit of muscle, which I know everyone hated. In this one, they've sort of put him back to what he was originally imagined as being, you know, massive motherfucker, but also really smart at the same time. Yeah,
well, I mean, the Nolan trilogy is sort of, it's done a clever thing where it has stuck to a lot of the comic lore, maybe more than the Tim Burton and you know, other films did, but they've also added a lot of twists to things, like the tumbler instead of the Batmobile. Like, rather than the souped-up car with the rocket exhaust, it's a sort of converted military vehicle.
I do kind of miss the old school Batmobile, but at the same time, you just look at it, you think, how the fuck would you ever turn a corner with that thing? It's so fucking long, and you see it in the old, like, 60s ones where he's going around, it's a massive bend coming towards, you know, his manor that he can get into. Like, if he actually had to stop and turn at a crossroads, he'd be utterly fucked.
But I'm sure the Batmobile in the 60s thing was just like the most versatile car. It was like fucking Kit from Knight Rider, turned into a boat and a submarine and you could go invisible or some shit. There's a lot of, I mean, when we went on holiday last year, the first thing we did when we got to the caravan was just sit and watch the 60s Batman. The plot of the week was the Penguin had electrified a swimming pool. Quite why, I don't really remember.
They had the commissioner or something in a box on a slide that went into the
well,
pool.
That's like Bond villain-esque. That's
You guys
really
are paying
good.
so much more attention to this. I was just going, Batman.
I may have watched it more than once.
That's brilliant. It's just like, yes, we could hold him to ransom with a gun to his head, but no, we're going to do this massively overblown situation where there's a chance you can rescue him. I know, Cage on a slide.
Yeah, the 60s Batman show, I love it. It had Batman dancing, shaking a mean cape, and it had some really bitchin' guest stars, like Sid Haig kept turning up as one of King Tut's henchmen. Not enough shows these days have people hitting people in it, saying, "Bots,
Yeah,
mince,
Kasok.
yeah, wank."
Wank, yeah, I've seen that.
Black.
Yeah, no, literally, check out the opening credits to the 60s Batman. Like, you might have to go frame by frame, but there's like a montage at the end of him and Robin punching bitches, and one of them literally says "Blap." Talking about the 60s show makes me think that something else I loved as a kid was the Batman animated series.
The cartoons were quite good. I'm just thinking though, now we've mentioned the 60s stuff, I wonder how long it'll be, especially with this final film, how much money they're going to make before they do like a TV gritty reboot.
I don't know, because this is going to be Nolan's last film. So like what they're going to do with it after this, they're probably going to reboot it again. We were talking about this the other night actually, they're probably going to get Michael Bay to direct the reboot.
Quick, people need to explode when Batman punches them.
Exploding batarangs and stuff, transforming Batmobile.
See, that's something there isn't enough of, batarangs. I always used to love using those in the video games, just used to run around collecting them, hitting people. I remember there was a few really good Batman games on the Mega Drive, the Amiga.
The only Batman game I've really played is Arkham Asylum, but cracking game. Still need to play Arkham City actually, I've not.
I will lend you it.
If I ever find the time to play it.
Yeah, that's a
I've
problem.
had Saints Row 3 for fucking ages and I've not even touched it yet. I would games, but Skyrim. But yeah, so Arkham Asylum was like, it was one of those games that everyone like hyped the shit out of. And I was like, there's no way this fucking game can be as good as people are making it out. And it wasn't, to be fair. I mean, everyone was going like, this is the greatest game ever made. I was like, it's a good game, I enjoyed it, it's quite original, but...
Isn't that the one with a really disappointing final boss?
Fucking hell. I don't even
I
think
don't
it
own the
warrants
game, and
being called
I've been
a final boss.
heard about that so many times.
Basically, you walk around in circles with the Joker for a bit, and
That sounds like you're tango dancing. That would be an interesting sort of like set of mini games, like taking it back to the old 60s style. Rather than beating him in like a serious fight fashion, you have to out tango him.
have a
or
dance
something.
off.
Well, there's one where they have a surfing competition. I'm sure, like came up in a Cracked article, that ways Batman used to solve crimes. Like, quick, let's surf.
Mostly it was his whatever he had on his utility belt at the time. Shit, it's a rampant wombat robot. Good job, I've got
Batarang.
my wombat robot bomb.
I do like some of the Mickey takes and stuff of Batman as well. There's the one video on YouTube where the scene where he's interrogating the Joker. It's quite funny.
There's so many Joker spoofs on YouTube, it's ridiculous.
I quite like the Simpsons episode.
Batman Begins.
Yeah, that's the great one. Poison Lenny.
Yeah,
It's like,
so disturbing.
Kill another transvestite.
Also, Robot Chicken has a million great Batman parodies.
They have a million parodies of everything.
Well, yeah, very true. When it comes to comics, I'm much more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy. It's probably obvious. I think Batman is the one thing DC have got going for them. Marvel have got so many great villains. I mean, you could reel off dozens of great Marvel villains. DC is pretty much confined to Batman. I mean, Batman's Rogue Gallery is excellent. When
Superman's got like Lex Luthor and whatever weird alien cunt decides to turn up that week and have a fight with him. I couldn't name
Zod.
you any others.
Or anyone who's got a chunk of kryptonite.
Yeah, true. He could be fighting some absolute paraplegic. Like, he'd be basically fighting Stephen Hawking, but if he's got like a glass full of kryptonite, he could potentially just like wheel back and forth into him in his wheelchair and kick his ass.
Yeah.
That would be like a really shit end to a film.
See, I would like Superman if that was a villain.
He gets run over by Stephen Hawking.
But yeah, I mean, Batman's got like Clayface, Egghead, Black Mask. He's also got Man-Bat, Mr. Freeze, the Penguin, the Joker, Harley Quinn. I really wish those rumours of Kristen Bell playing Harley in the Dark Knight follow-up had come true, because she would have suited the role magnificently.
You wouldn't give a fuck if she suited the role or not. You'd have just given a fuck for the costume she'd be wearing.
The Dark Knight Returns is just a masterpiece of comics. I've always said I really want them, like, seeing as they're concluding the Batman trilogy, the Nolan trilogy, what they should do is make a Dark Knight Returns film with Clint Eastwood as Batman.
Oh, that'd be good.
It'd be the most bitchin' thing ever. I know recently in the comics they did the thing with Batman going like through time and he was like a cave Batman and like pirate Batman or whatever. They should totally do Steampunk Batman.
See, I don't even
Just
like steampunk,
fucking
but I think that would be funny.
Batman's outfit covered in cogs with like giant goggles on
And
him.
a top hat.
And a top hat,
Always
and
top hat.
the Joker riding around in a blimp, cackling. One of the most recent developments with Batman was he may have been gay.
Well, I think he's probably always been, you know, a little bit. You know, with him and Robin, you know, there was always that little bit of.
Just look on Super Dickory. Half the Batman
Is that your
things
homepage?
No, it could be. No, it's like it's a thing that takes out of context panels from comics.
Oh yeah.
So many of the Super Dickory ones are just like Batman and Robin being so fucking gay. But DC did this thing recently where they were like, oh yeah, well, one of our major characters is going to come out as gay, and everyone was like, it's going to be Batman, wow, revolutionary. And then it was one of them Green Lanterns.
He could still be gay, he might just be in the closet, you never know.
Yeah, maybe. The things we've established tonight are The Dark Knight Rises is coming out and we're excited about it. Batman isn't gay, and it's always funnier to punch someone if the word black comes out. We've been a couple of cunts in the countryside. If you enjoyed this video, like, favourite, subscribe and share. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. If you didn't enjoy it, just chill. Feel free to suggest a topic for us to talk about in a future episode, and we'll see you next time.
Don't know about the Dark Knight, but Harley Quinn makes him rise. What's up YouTube? We're a couple of soggy cunts.